Hey guys, this is more of a response towards an article I read on Yahoo.com as well as a few other websites stating that certain movies based on fantasy novels were ripoffs of Harry Potter, and that is why they failed big time in the box office. Um, I disagree with that 100%, and the fact that they even said that it is a Harry Potter ripoff is not only an insult towards the readers and the fans who read these books throughout their series and continue to read today, but it's very much a slap in the face towards the authors who have written them. Me being a freelance writer myself, I do take that very personal for many reasons. One, what I write is coming from my own head and nobody else's. And two, to say that they're rip-off, knowing full well that most of these books came out way before Harry Potter even was first published, that to say that a lot of people just don't know what they're talking about. Now, granted, the movies based on the novels that they mentioned, yeah, they did fail in the box office, but that's because of many other reasons. It's not just because of Harry Potter. It's because of popularity, marketing, and who their demographic has been targeted for. Let me go on and refresh what it is. About a month ago, Yahoo.com has said that that these movies known as the Harry Potter ripoffs fell to the box office because pretty much of their status. Some of the movies that was already released before Harry Potter. One of them being the series of Unfortunate Events, which was out way before Harry Potter. They have 13 books to its name. The other one was The Golden Compass, and The Golden Compass failed for one reason. It was a great movie. I enjoyed The Golden Compass, but it fell because for some reason it was targeting just one specific group, and people really didn't go into it because they thought it was just an all-girls movie. Thus, that's why it failed. To me, it was a good movie, and I was actually disappointed that it fell because now I don't get to see the other two books being turned to movies, which are called the Dark Hour series. So yeah, I was a little upset. But the series of Unfortunate Event, I wasn't surprised because the way they handled the bookmaking, the adaptation from book to movies, I was not a little bit surprised by that at all. But like I said, that's not really the point. Yeah, most of these films did flop. Most of them films was not good adaptations, with exception of probably two. Paisley Jackson, the Olympic Thief, I think that's what it's called. Also, just failed at the box office. It only missed its mark by 10 million, but it did not do any good in terms of making the revenue. And that's a series that's been around for a while. But that's besides the point. I mean, the thing is, yeah, these films that came before him, like the Spider Walk Chronicles, all did not do well at all, with the exception of one, and that's Chronicles of Narnia. And the reason why Chronicles of Narnia succeeded, people heard about Narnia. They read at least the first book, which is the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. So they read this book. They know what this book was about. And it was only until when they realized there were other movies to be done that they read the follow-ups to those books. I of course will be reviewing them down the road. But the point is that, okay, they failed. There was a reason why they failed. It wasn't because that they were Harry Potter ripoffs. They're not Harry Potter ripoffs. They're a totally different book altogether. And if you read some of these books, like Aragon, which is a great series, all three books are, wonderful series. You read Aragon, if you read the series of Unfortunate Events, if you read the the Dark Hour trilogy, which is the Golden Compass. If you read these books, the Skywalker Chronicles, Pacey Jackson, you'll find yourself very intrigued by these books, and they're not Harry Potter. They are totally different books by themselves. The same thing with Lord of the Ring. That's a totally different series. The same thing with Chronicles of Narnia. They're totally different series. The same thing with Wizard of Oz. The same thing with other fantasy novels that came before it, like Dragonlance, Forgotten Realm. All these books are done by different authors, and these books have their own taste, and in terms of giving us a good fantasy tale, whether it's this time or medieval times, or in a world that only exists in that book. So yeah, I was a little bit surprised that they actually try to compare a lot of these books towards the Harry Potter series. And let me tell you, it's not a knock on Harry Potter. I mean, granted, Harry Potter done something that even myself was stunned about. It really surprised me. I didn't know about Harry Potter until the third book. That's how much the phenomenon was. I saw the first movie, didn't read the book first. I saw the movie, loved the movie, started reading the books, and it's needless to say that if it wasn't for those books, I would not have gotten my GED, because that's how much of an impact those books have done. So I say to the author and towards the book as a whole, that these were great reads, and it really impacted me to a very large extent. But I would never try and say that any book that came before Harry Potter or after Harry Potter are as rip-offs, because they're not. Different, these are different authors. They have a certain amount of passion for fantasy. Unless they're copying Harry Potter word for word, or trying to have an unofficial book out there, which there has had on a number of occasions, which J.K. Rowling had to fight off. To me, saying that these are rip-offs from Harry Potter is it's like a slap in the face. But really, to me, it's a slap in the face. And being a person who's on the process of writing my first novel, that is a slap in the face, because you really can't compare those books and the movies towards Harry Potter. If you want to say that it failed in the box office for reasons that they're promoting, or because it wasn't a good movie, then fine, that's cool. But to say that the reason why they failed because they were trying to rip off Harry Potter, that's a little bit uncalled for, because like I said, some of these books have been out way before Harry Potter, and some of those books that came out after Harry Potter are actually pretty damn good books. The only problem is that some of these fantasy novels that was released only catered to a certain amount of people, and unless it had a very big acclaim or a very big turnout like Twilight did, because Twilight, I didn't hear anything about it until like the third book, and that actually beat up Harry Potter in the bestsellers list. It pretty much talked to a female demographic more than it did to the male demographic, and those are the people who actually saw more than in the movie wise, saw more than the male counterparts. But see where my point is coming in is that's a different group, that's a different book, a different style of writing. It is a vampire book, but like I said, there's different style of vampire books. Just like other vampire books you read, it's not going to be the same thing. So yeah, so my point is that I don't think these films fail because of because they're trying to rip off Harry Potter. I think they fail because of popularity and marketing, and how the film how the fans who went to the theater reacted and talked about it once they left about the theater. But that's pretty much all it is. And you may have a different opinion. I'd like to hear from it. If you guys feel the same way, please let me know. If not, if you've seen these films and you have your own view of why these films didn't do well, please, by all means, let me know. Until then, this is J77, signing off.